Hey guys, welcome back to my new series, Fan Hall. I'm Dazzling Kate, for those who are new here, and welcome back, for those who are old here. So, what is Fan Hall? Now, Fan Hall focuses on discussing things in the middle of a school hallway, specifically the imaginary one I have in the background. This was actually created by my good friend Pinky Boo Studios. She is a wonderful friend of mine. I commissioned her to make this, and it is so freaking fabulous. I am very thankful that she did all this work for me, and I'm just gonna leave her. I'm gonna leave her social media down below so you guys can go check it out. I'm definitely going to be doing this every time I post a Van Hall video, just so you guys know who the artist is, because I did not draw this. It was my good friend Pinky Boo Studio. Please go check out her social media. That would be an amazing gift for me and for her, because she means so much to me, and she is definitely one of the best artists I've encountered in my art journey. But anyways, speaking of art, we are going to be talking about a new series called The Art of Murder. Am I getting this right? Oh my god, I'm so nervous. I gotta double check. Gotta make sure I didn't fuck up. Oh my gosh. Art of Murder. Is that it? Did I fuck up? Did I not fuck up? I don't know. Yeah, The Art of Murder. Okay, good. Because it sometimes I fuck up names. So sorry in advance. I know. I'm not that amusing. But okay, let's get back into today's video. So here is a bunch of footage of me drawing the characters from the show. So it's in real life. So if it seems too fast or too slow, whatever, it's whatever. It's just what I draw in my meantime. But anyways, so I did not know this thing existed until the day it came out. Literally, when I was scrolling along YouTube, I was looking for something new to watch while I was making some art. The next thing I know, I bump into this pilot, and oh my gosh, I gotta say, I've never found myself thrown into a new franchise so quickly without even knowing where I was going with it. So, for those who don't know what The Art of Murder is, it is this indie animation pilot that just was posted almost a week ago. It's going to be a week by the time I post this, and it almost has hit 1 million views. And I gotta say, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed, because there's so much, I've never seen something like this just go up. And we've already seen plenty of indie projects already being made into something big, like Has-Been Hotel, and then we have Digital Circus. I hope I got that name right. I sometimes I screw up on names. I know, guys. I'm very bad at names, so if I screw up somehow, I apologize in advance. It's not me doing this on purpose. It's me just being legitimately really confused and trying to figure out what the fuck to say. So anyways, I never have fallen quickly into a franchise like this, and I am amused, because this is what every teenage person who has done, this is what they've done in the last 20 years. We are, I would say between the early 2000s to right now is when everyone who was in their middle school phase, teenage phase, they were creating OCs. They were drawing all their favorite characters from anime, cartoons, Disney and such, and then bam, we were creating our own original characters. We were being inspired to do our own thing, and it is beautiful to see that something like that has been made into an animation. And it's so amusing to me, because I have not bumped into something like this in such a long time, where it felt original, where it felt like a breath of fresh air, and it's using its different art styles with these characters to their advantage to make sure that the person watching is amused by this. And I could go on and on. So we are going on and on about it, guys. Oh my gosh. So anyways, when I watched the pilot, I was not expecting so good of voice acting. Like, I was just like, probably a couple of YouTubers grabbed, probably like, here and there. It was probably rushed. I don't know. It's just like, when I watched it, it was like, I think it was below 200,000 views, or maybe it was even below 100,000 views. And I was just like, I was amazed by how good the animation was. I was amazed with how good the voice acting was and how the story was. It's like a simple, straightforward story. It isn't overcomplicating things. It's just going straight to the point, which we haven't really touched on anything like this before in shows. Like, maybe there's a handful of shows that maybe some people might know, or books or comics that some people might bring up and be like, well, there's so and so here, there's that and that there. They might mention that. But I do love the references in this pilot so far. Like, I was so giggly at one of the scenes. Okay, so obviously you've had to have watched it by now, so hopefully you did. Otherwise, it's not really a spoiler. It's more like a reference to like some like other things. But like, please do not take me as like someone who spoils too much for you. Okay, please, I beg. But anyways, I enjoyed seeing that one scene, seeing like the Toy Story reference there, and we had like a little sort of sounding like this Toy Story theme with like Woody and Buzz in the background. Well, like, they're just like, well, toys don't come to life, do they? It's just like, it's probably not the right words that they used, but you get what I mean. I'm just like remembering from memory, even though I'm just like, I just watched it and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's just like, I have not like gotten into something like this. Like, I don't think something as like this has been done in a while. Like, this was giving me some interesting vibes. Like, the only thing I can really compare it to that made me really instantly love it was that it reminded me of one of my like childhood shows, which was like Tiny Toon Adventures. And I remember the pilot for that, like when they were like the origin story of that, and it reminded me so much of that, except the fact that that the characters don't interact with the artist, like Pip, right? I might be misremembering names. I apologize. And if you hear chewing noises, that's my dogs just chewing away on their bones. So please do not think of it as like something weird going on there. It's just my dogs. And I can't afford my own private recording studio. Like, let me tell you right now, there are some people who would be like, but Dazzling Kate, you can just do this, you can just do that. Like, let me tell you right now, I am trying my best to record during a nice and pleasant time where my dogs aren't super active. It's like late in the night, and they usually are chill by this time. Anyways, guys, as we proceed on, I gotta say, having something like this being turned into a show, like, I was not having that on my bingo card. Like, if I had known about this sooner, I probably would have been like, oh, cool. Like, I wish I had known about this sooner, because this is so amazing. There's so much there. There's so much, the character designs are very different from one another, which is good because, different characters from different franchises interacting, and it feels like something, somebody who loves animation. Like, everyone here, like, they love animation. And they wish there were crossovers like this often. Like, this is the closest I've seen to a good written crossover without it feeling like, if that makes sense. I know I'm kind of rushing into it, guys, but anyways. I know I'm forgetting something very important. And that is definitely the fact that I'm behind on the names. Let me just... It's best if I just look up the names real quick. I know, guys, I should know their names after watching it 2 to 3 times, and it's just like, it's hard for me to remember stuff. But I gotta say, like, I was not expecting to see something this year like this. And I find it very amusing because I just... it's often hard to like fall into new shows and such, but this was perfect. I gotta say, like, okay. Giorgio Win. Damn it. Okay, Giorgio Win Sasuke and Princess Almond Blossom. I kind of like that, like Almond Blossom. Almond Blossom. Almond Blossom. Like, saying that is so fun. Almond Blossom. Almond Blossom. I'm probably fucking up somehow to some people, and that's totally okay, guys. And then it's just like, it's interesting to see the interactions between these characters, because you never really see interactions like with these kind of characters. Like, you'd have to write a really cringy fanfiction, which this is kind of like it, but it's like more fleshed out, it's more thought out, it's given a life that doesn't feel like it's taking everything from somebody else. Instead, it is bringing life to something that it was yet to exist. Oh my gosh, how am I describing it to you guys? I feel so bad that I'm like rushing through my thoughts, trying to give you guys my thoughts while I figure out what to say exactly. I know, I'm looking at my script and I'm like, it's freestyle, guys. It's just basically one topic to another. For those who think I'm like crazy, which, okay, cool. But I gotta, anyways. Moving on. So the new character that is introduced to this four-person group of characters is an OC, and obviously we all have OCs, and seeing how well the interactions go between these four and the OC, it's like, what am I expecting from them? Like, they played more like a older sibling kind of role to this kid, and I really hope for sure that they're not dead, but I know that, you know, they can just be redrawn and brought to life through that, because I honestly think maybe they travel through sketchbooks or something if they've been around for this long. I would love to see, like, before they perfected their animation, like, not animation, art style, I would love to see a scribbly version of Win or Giorgio. Could you imagine how developed the art style would have had to been? Like, you know, seeing Pip just like trying to like draw these characters originally and they were brought to life. Like, I hope we get an episode like that where we see the beginning stages and then to the now, and it's like, wow, we've totally evolved, didn't we? And it's like amazing. And I'm like, I hope we get an episode like that. I think that would be very fitting for a series like this. But I don't know how many episodes did they say there would be. Like I'm sure it's a short-lived series, but it's also like, what should I expect? That kind of thing. And honestly, I find it more amusing to just like look into being surprised about this kind of thing. It's more fun to be surprised about these elements of characters and storytelling, like when new episodes drop out of nowhere. I love being surprised like that. I guess that's one way to look at how it is now. I know some people might be like, but Dazzling Kate, you could just go to the page and just look it up. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I probably could, but I'm trying my best to stay on topic of discussing what surprised me the most. I guess the whole setup. Like, I was surprised to see something like that. And we haven't seen something like this in a while, where it feels like, oh wow, look, we finally have like something new going on. It feels kind of original. And I know some people might be like, but it isn't original, it just feels like a forced fan fiction. Like, I'm saying some people, not everybody, which is totally understandable. What else can I say? But yeah, they're 4 different personalities. It seems very divisive. Like, you see all these main character vibes from all these different animations, and of course video games, because Giorgio is from a PG-13 romance video game. I'm kind of like, he's giving me Tamaki vibes from like Oh, Oron School Host Club. That's the kind of vibes I'm getting from him. Win is obviously inspired by Finn from Adventure Time. Almond Blossom, I'm not too sure. Like, I guess Tiana? Or maybe, like, an earlier Disney princess from the 90s ish? I'm not too sure. As for Susuke, obviously Naruto, or other things of anime. But I'm very much looking forward to seeing how they like deal with this murder, because this is something like this is an odd combination. I wouldn't imagine like it being like this. They're actually given a premise, like not a premise. They're actually given a point to like focus on in the series, which is like finding out who murdered OC. And considering, I can imagine how often this probably has either happened or not happened, it's pretty clear what could happen next, as we are given pieces of evidence within, like, you know, two characters already being, you know, covered in mud and covered in like whatever else. I don't know what else was it like. Was it anything else? Like I can't remember, but I'm really hoping that we do get to see like more within the next episode. I don't know when that'll be posted, but like at the rate and how the like shop is, I would imagine with how much is put in, it would definitely make things go faster, and I really hope that's the case, because this is pretty damn amazing. Like, this is something we have so much to look forward with, and there could be a chance that it could be picked up by, you know, like places like Netflix or Amazon or something, and we get to watch that in real time. Like, for me, I didn't see the hype like I didn't see Hazbin Hotel until Hazbin Hotel was on like freaking like Amazon, and it was like, oh wow, this is Hazbin Hotel. That's interesting. That's very interesting, you know. But yeah, it is fascinating to see how far indie projects like this have been given to us. It's very interesting, and I'm hoping that it does inspire more people to push forward with their indie projects and such. Like, this is something that is definitely something big that's happening right now. And oh my gosh, I wish I could talk without Fred growling in my ear, just like staring at me and being all like, continue, Mom, continue. I dare you. And then he's just like growling more. It's amazing. It's very amazing. The topic of the next part of this is, what do I expect to happen for the next episode? I don't know. I think the questioning most likely would be between, like, you know, two characters, not three of them. Because obviously you got to make sure that the time is spent trying to, like, look into every piece of information. And then the last character you're supposed to question, what if just something happens to them and then they're, like, killed off or something? I don't know. But I do think it's one of those things where Pip is going to be the perpetrator who did it, who basically killed OC, because maybe she didn't like how OC turned out, since due to the evidence in the first episode, in the very beginning, we see her try to draw a hand, and then it just does not turn out right, and she erases it, and it proceeds, and he's introduced to the rest of the characters. It is something I think would be the likely chance, but hey, it could be a twist, and we could see more in a given times eventually. Like, maybe the twist might be something completely different than just Pip erasing OC or trashing him. It could be totally something different. Like, maybe someone else did it, but the evidence needs to be there. And how would, like, you know, it wouldn't make sense for any of the drawings to do that, because once midnight happens, I would imagine everyone's just like waking up minutes apart. So how would they be able to take away OC without like being seen? And if they did, and if the dog entered the room before then too, it would just like, there's just so many questions that are in my mind, just like, how would they have done it that quickly? How would they have, like, did they climb onto the dog, carry OC's paper, like, trash it in the mud, return with the dog, and then just, I don't know, it's just like, you would have had to, like, be very quick about it, and it's just like, how would that person have that much time, like, considering how, like, often they wake apart differently, like, I would imagine a couple of minutes apart. Again, I think that's something that should be considered as not just the matter that they're, fuck, where was I? Oh, right, the matter of, like, not just the time, but how would they have even been able to, get onto the dog, run off to, like, the yard, like, was there an open doggy door? Was the window open? Maybe, like, I don't know. There's, like, so much there, and I'm like, oh gosh, there's so much there. There's so much there. But let me be real, like, if it turns out to be one of the characters, like, yeah. If it turns out to be one of the other characters, like, drawings, like, one of the other drawings, I will kind of riot a little bit, because I think that is too predictable, but, whatever happens, it should be pretty good. It should be pretty fun, too. But my final thoughts about this, like, pilot so far is that I do love the the premise of it, the characters so far. Like, this is something you haven't seen in a while, and I think it's, like, I think the closest I can actually say is that one early 2000s, like, cartoon, and it was an adult cartoon where basically all these different main characters live together in, like, a shared house or something. I can't remember what it was called. I just know it existed, so you guys, like, don't come at me and be like, but what about that show? Like, I don't remember what the show was, but I remember that there was, like, a bunch of weird, like, there was one based off of Pikachu that was, like, hitting on people? I don't know. But there were a lot of characters that were there, and I'm just like, it probably might have been also based off this show. So I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But yeah, I think that was probably an inspiration, maybe. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you did, and if you are new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. That would mean the world to me. And also, please go check out Pink Boo Studios. She is a wonderful friend of mine. She is very talented. And, of course, I think she's always accepting of many different commissions. She has reasonable prices. Like, that's for sure. That's for definitely sure. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you'll have a nice and safe day. So stay safe, stay cool, and most importantly, guys, stay hydrated. This is Dazzling Kate, signing. Wait. Am I forgetting something? No. Anyways. This is... Oh gosh, the animation... The video is going too fast. Anyways, guys. This is Dazzling Kate, signing the hell out of here.